My fellow Ambazonians and friends of Ambazonians, when I welcome for all una, we will start in exactly 2 minutes. Make sure say all man join we. So when I welcome, when I just give you exactly 2 minutes, and we will start. We'll get very important message for bringing for una. We'll get very important talk for bringing for una. All right. So when I give you 2 minutes, and we will start. We'll start with exactly 1 minute. All right, my fellow people of Ambazonians, of Ambazonia. I don't come today. We're on number 9 day. Today we're on Thursday, number 9 day for the month of September for 2021. I'll be with brother Asu. We're the press secretary for the Executive Office for Governing Council of Ambazonia. I don't come today. We can't discuss with the news we come out yesterday from the colonial state. We can't discuss and talk for all we make we get a common understanding of which the colonial state, the defeat of Cameroun for Ambazonia, it don't make them, they not get any other choice than for find other ways and other means for continue their genocide on the Ambazonian people. Them. Today, I'm going to bring a deep analysis of which the Cameroon colonial state, their defeat, and eventually as they exit Ambazonia, which is the one start for doing. Today, we'll talk about the death sentence where they don't give for 4 Ambazonian citizens for the military tribunal will take place for Boya. Now for today, now to read that for today, would go inside that story. My fellow people, since the Ambazonian uprising for these modern times, it started for 2016. The Cameroon colonial state, it don't find every means possible for find way for intimidate and frighten the Ambazonian people then, by using terrorism tactics for force our people them for accept the occupation, for use force, intimidation, and all kinds of repressive methods. We go push the Ambazonian people the way they will talk, so we'll not take this pain anymore, and therefore they go give up on their aspirations. But which the Cameroon government don't know, as in a different generation this. They get different ways of processing information. They get a leadership. They get new ways where they feel inspire and encourage themselves and give hope to each other and comfort each other. And therefore, the resistance of the Ambazonian people, it be unshakable. The will of the Ambazonian people, it be weakened, enough it be broken. The determination of this generation, for see and give our people them a free homeland, a bit stronger than any time before. So the defeat of Cameroun, it make the way where they be carry out massacres and genocide, they get for change form. For start for do them now, for ways and way people know would pay attention for what they really happen. When I remember when the Ngabo massacre it happened, the first thing where the Cameroon colonial government is doing, now for accuse say na Ambazonian forces and Ambazonian fighters, they carry out that massacre. The Cameroon government go even to the extent forget their local authorities for can make confession. Say na Ambazonian forces and Ambazonian fighters, they carry out the massacre for Ngabo. When evidence is start for show the contrary, then they can't start talking a mistake. Their forces they be go there for go carry certain operation, and there be been a mistake where it happened from their own vigilante groups where they be don't hire them. So now their vigilante groups they don't make that mistake. Eventually, the Cameroon government, after independent report and eyewitness accounts, and even for the survivors, their own testimony, it shows that the Cameroon military, it commit the massacre for Ngabo. Very quickly, they can't accept them. What did they do? They be already go catch plenty people then. Talk saying that then this way they commit a massacre. Then finally, when the world it can expose them, they talk say they don't set up military tribunals, an investigation they go on, and then they say finally, then they don't arrest they don't arrest the soldier them. Will they be carry out the massacre for Ngabo? Right? When the international pressure it be don't be over plenty for poor be ahead. When the international pressure it be don't just too much for poor be ahead and Bia no be fit for take them anymore. When Bia be already start for tell the international community, say okay, when I know what, maybe, just maybe, I be interested for get discussion with Ambazonian people them. Now so Bia, when the pressure don't plenty, Bia can start for show interest. I put them for here. When the pressure be don't over plenty for poor Bia from the international system, where the force say for get into discussion with Ambazonian people them. Eager for get into a dialogue with the Ambazonian people them. The pressure be don't over plenty for poor Bia. For poor Bia for escape from that international pressure and for escape for get into a dialogue with the Ambazonian people them. They do what they do best. They come up with a plan for carry out a massacre where it go shaking the soul of the international system. It go shaking the soul of the Ambazonian people them. It go touch all international institutions. And it will become now a diversion. And therefore it will reduce the pressure on poor Bia. The Cameroon military, the Cameroon intelligence agencies, they decide for carry out a massacre for small picking them. for school picking them. So that they go feel blame Ambazonian fighters and Ambazonian forces. And then they will use them as an excuse. Say Ambazonians, that they commit act of terrorism. That moment, right immediately after they commit the massacre for Kumba, it became the biggest thing, act of terrorism. They start for call Ambazonian forces and fighters, say they be terrorists. They change the label. They change the discussion. Use their media outlets, and it becomes the biggest propaganda for divert international attention and move and lower the pressure on the Biya government. Biya come out. He entered for the diplomatic corridors. And during that period, the governing council of Ambazonia, it be to get discussions with international agencies and international and UN UN agencies. After that massacre, the Biya government, it can't talk, say, look, I no go fit dialogue with terrorists. I no go fit dialogue with people that keep school picking them. They use them as an excuse. It be been an act of propaganda for them for use them as a diplomatic excuse for not for engage and for the world for lower pressure on them. As they don't reveal them now, say it be been at their right intention for use the massacre for Biya for back out of for toxic for of any discussion, of any intention of discussion with the Ambazonian people, and because it talks enough, it talk for terrorists. A well deliberate, a well calculated move by a genocidal regime. Every single person, even within La République du Cameroun government, they know saying that the Cameroon military, it carry out the massacre for Kumba. All man, you know. Even the teachers, they confess, say they see the military for the school before the massacre. But what happened with the weaknesses them? They take everyone, they silence them, go take money, go give them for someone them. The school picking their parents, they go bribe someone them. It no stay. The Cameroon government, it catch some boy for Kumba. The BT kill him. Shoot he. Carry his king go throw him for the street of Kumba. Talk saying that one of the boys in that way, they commit the massacre. Then after about 2 weeks, they go catch some thief people them. Beat them. Put them for truck. They say, oh, now the boys in this way they commit the massacre. Hundreds of Ambazonians, they dey for jail today because the Cameroon government, it falsely arrest young people them for use them, like saying that the people in that way, they commit the massacre for Kumba. Yesterday, the Cameroon colonial government for the city of Boya for Ambazonia, they don't take all these false accused persons, these victims, these innocent people them, they don't carry them. They're not going for court where it will be public, where they fit present facts and evidence. And lawyers, they fit defend those people then. For public, if we not talk say people they commit massacre, we not bring them for public and provide the evidence and witness testimony for the whole world may see them. Because they know say a lie. Because they know say a propaganda. That's why they revert them, they carry them, they put them, they go hide behind military tribunal now for the kill Ambazonian people then, so that they fit cover their evidence. The reason why they don't give death penalty for these 4 Ambazonian falsely accused people, young boys or young men, they kill them. Now for cover the crimes. Now for cover the propaganda. Because they know say if they keep those boys alive, the world go interview them. They know so. Secondly, Cameroun they try for project still get authority for Ambazonia. So the first thing for this death sentencing of Ambazonian of our 4 brothers then, now for cover up Cameroun their dirty games in terms of propaganda. We kill them, the world will know what happen. Whether we're talking the truth or we're talking a lie. If we leave them for prison and we tell the world which are those people today, they go interview them. Amnesty International go interview them. Human Rights Watch go interview them. And the truth, it will come from outside. That's why since they arrest those people then, they never ever make their location maybe known to the public. If you arrest some man and he commit a big public crime, at least you will tell the person, you will tell the world. Since then, they never reveal the identities of who these people be. If you arrest people then and you accuse them of a crime, for this kind of big crime then, not you go take pictures of those people then, you put them outside for a newspaper, and you set a date, and you bring all the witnesses, so that those people, their family, they will hire lawyers. No. No man, no place where they go hide them. Until the day where, when the 1 year say, the military tribunal don't sentence them. And they will do a firing squad. That means they will put them for some place, and then they shoot them. This act of intimidation, the Ambazonia defeat of Cameroun, it don't leave Cameroun now to use now acts of intimidation for show states to get control of Ambazonia. Now acts of intimidation for show what people say any person will support this liberation. Now so it go end up. We'll go catch you, we'll kill you like those other ones. I get a very bad news for Pobia. Those things they need to work with the Ambazonian people. Whether in a firing squad, whether in a 50 years in jail, whether in a life sentencing, no amount of intimidation, no amount of torture, no amount of killing, it go reverse Ambazonia defeat of Cameroun. And it go reverse the freedom with the Ambazonian people that they seek. There is nothing if we stop the legitimate quest of the Ambazonian people for freedom. Not enough to keep Ambazonia under Cameroon occupation anymore. And make us send this message directly for Pobia. The leader of our war of independence, Dr. Ibacho, It sent special instructions to all Ambazonian forces. The 4 Ambazonians, where they sentenced them for firing squad. It means say the war on colonial administrators, it go increase by 100 folds. Any place from today where any Cameroon colonial administrator for Ambazonia, when I enable the genocide, the colonialism, and Cameroon occupation of Ambazonia, any place where you dey, make you know say we 4 brothers where Cameroon it don't sentence for kill them by firing squad. Make you know say they say because of you, now we were brothers that they pay that price. Because you accept for administer occupation for Ambazonia, for administer colonialism for Ambazonia, for participate for administer genocide. Ambazonian forces all across the territory. The one and for the forces. Any place where an Ambazonian force idede, any colonial administrator, now a direct target for retribution for the sentencing of 4 Ambazonians. Those people, then too, they must be picked up according to international law for their role where they play for this slow genocide where probably they run on our people. Any place where any colonial administrator did it be a legitimate target for them for administer and sanction which it go on for Ambazonia. Because now them be responsible for Cameroon colonialism and Cameroon occupation. So to the forces, to the generals, and to the commanders, we not take immediate action for pick up any Cameroon colonial administrator within the territory. When then they sanction, now then they give power to the Cameroon colonial state and to the Cameroon colonial police, to the Cameroon colonial army, for them for use our people them, for maintain their grip on the occupation, even after the total defeat. Now the instruction this. As for Paul Biya, one tell you say they say the defeat be real. You not get no other choice. You go either choose, just like what it don't happen for other country them, just like what it don't happen for Guinea, because the Ambazonian defeat of Cameroon, it go push the Cameroonese. They go do for you what you don't do for the president of Guinea. Your people no be able to take it anymore because this defeat, it go cause the biggest economic crisis for La République du Cameroun. It go cause the biggest social tension and political turmoil for inside Cameroon. It come. So your own, it come from the Cameroonese themselves. As for Ambazonia, the past, it not go be the future anymore. The new generation of Ambazonians, they don't wake up for put their foot for ground and for take their country back. And there is nothing. You, your army, your police, your gendarme, your occupational administrators, una fit do about that. The time for una for pack out of Ambazonia now. The time for una for start for pack out of Ambazonia now. But if you want to use these slow tactics for continue the genocide, they make you know say they say the Ambazonian people under international law, they go take other measures for also back and revenge waiting when they do for our people them. And the message this will be talk say, make a bring them for our people them. And the message where I be talk say, make I can't discuss with all way. As to our 4 brothers, where the one killed them by a firing squad. It would been a very painful experience. 4 brothers, where the one killed them by a firing squad. It would been a very painful experience. 4 brothers, where the one killed them by a firing squad. It would been a very painful experience. 4 brothers, where the one killed them by a firing squad. It would been a very painful experience. innocent people, them, their lives for be taken because of lies. Cameroun will pay for it. Cameroun, it will pay for it. Cameroun will pay for it. The leader don't promise them. When I get a great Thursday, when I stay fine, when I hold when I heart, as the leader be promised way, the liberation not been a walk in the park. We'll get some dark days. We'll get some dark moments. But the freedom and the independence of Ambazonia will be guaranteed. No person of it reverse the course anymore. The status quo need to exist again. It no will ever exist again. The past, it don't change. The future and the freedom of Ambazonia, it be guaranteed. So with all what people that they go through, and the families of these 4 people that they go through, and the collective prize this with this generation they pay. And for those heroes, we salute them for their bravery and for their courage. For any place where any other Ambazonian did it. If you be an Ambazonian and you work for Cameroon military and you know place where these Ambazonian young boys did it, you break that place freedom. Anything where any person fit do for rescue their lives from the hands of the monster, una do. Una stay fine. May God bless all man. May all man hold your heart. All right?